This video is to demonstrate the technique of top stitching. So top stitching is a stitch that we commonly see on things like your classic denim jeans. Top stitching is a line of stitching that's meant to be seen from the outside. It can be decorative and it can also be functional. Often it's used on things like necklines, hems, patch pockets like these jeans here. You can see it on the belt loops, the waistband, all this distinctive gold stitching that you see on denim. It could be done in other colors on other fabrics as well. This is going to help your facings or your linings stay in place and also reinforce spots of heavy wear and tear. That's really why we see it a lot on our classic jeans. It also helps give you a crisp edge in many cases. So the edges of these pockets are top stitched, and this helps keep the thick denim crisp. Same thing with the waistband line as well. So it serves multiple purposes. So let's talk about how we do different top stitches. So top stitches are often going to be through more than one layer of fabric, or they are through a seam and it's seam allowance to hold something in place. So I've already pre-sewn for us to look at 2 pieces of muslin into a seam, and then I folded them on themselves to give me a crisp edge, almost like that waistband or pocket that you saw on the jeans. Then I can put a top stitch in it to reinforce this edge. Sometimes it's done in a matching thread to your fabric, and sometimes it's done in a contrasting thread. And when it's done in a contrasting thread, you obviously want to make smart choices about what that thread color is and make sure that it's consistent throughout your garment. So if I were to top stitch this edge, perhaps I want to top stitch at 1/4 of an inch to reinforce this edge. This is something that I have students do when they build a messenger bag. And we top stitch the edge of the flap and strap to help reinforce and crisp up our edges. So this would demonstrate that as well. So 1/4 of an inch is the edge of this presser foot here, or this very first line on my machine. And I'm gonna stitch like normal. So I sunk my needle a little bit into the edge of my fabric. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of stitches in reverse, a back stitch, and then go forward. With top stitching, you always want to keep in mind that accuracy and a nice, clean, straight stitch is of the utmost importance, because this is very visible on your finished garment. So do be careful as you top stitch. And you can see here that I've got a nice, crisp, reinforced edge, and that extra bit of stitching is going to give me a little more stability on the edge of my fabric.